Hey y'all, welcome as we continue through the Psalms together. Today we're going to be reading Psalm 94. In this psalm, the author deals with the appearance of triumph of the wicked and the unjust treatment of the helpless. It wasn't foreign conquerors who were guilty. It was the leaders of the nation who were cooperating with the local judges. Even the king was abusing people by issuing unjust decrees. There are very few problems that cause God's people to question his rule more than why do the helpless and godly suffer and the wicked get away with their crimes? Still a question we deal with today. When it comes to dealing with the injustices in society, this psalm teaches us that the righteous have the responsibility of praying to the Lord for true justice, warning the wicked of their dangerous eternal choices, and accepting God's discipline, and working with God for true justice to come forth, trusting God for every single outcome. We'll go ahead and start in verse 1 of Psalm 94 together. O Lord, the God of vengeance, O God of vengeance, let your glorious justice shine forth. Arise, O Judge of the earth, give the proud what they deserve. How long, O Lord? How long will the wicked be allowed to gloat? How long will they speak with arrogance? How long will these evil people boast? They crush your people, Lord, hurting those you claim as your own. They kill widows and foreigners and murder orphans. The Lord isn't looking, they say, and besides, the God of Israel doesn't care. The author opens in petition to the Lord, detailing the problem that he was struggling through. God asks us to live justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. The Lord loves justice. He hears the prayers of those who have been treated unjustly. To avenge means to uphold the law and give justice to those who have been wronged. Since the Lord is omniscient, he is able to judge motives as well as actions and deal with situations and people correctly. He is the judge of all the earth, and he always does what is right. We often want the Lord to act immediately, but he is gracious and patient, and we are to walk by faith, trusting the Lord with all of our guts. Orphans, widows, and foreigners in the land were and are under the special care of the Lord. The helpless are God's covenant people, and he is Jehovah, the Lord of his covenant, which is used 9 times in this psalm in the Hebrew language. The wicked convince themselves that God doesn't see their evil deeds, but they could not be more wrong. We'll go ahead and continue in verse 8. Think again, you fools. When will you finally catch on? Is he deaf, the one who made your ears? Is he blind, the one who formed your eyes? He punishes the nations. Won't he also punish you? He knows everything. Doesn't he also know what you are doing? The Lord knows people's thoughts. He knows they are worthless. The Lord will give us opportunities to speak his truth and reveal his light into situations in life. The people the author was speaking about were behaving like animals, not like humans made in the very image of God. They had such a low view of God that they were not able to think logically. If God is able to rule the nations by his providential hand, he is able to handle the wicked in this world as well. The Lord gave Israel his law and taught them what it meant, so he is intelligent enough to apply his law as well. The plans and plots of the evil leaders cannot be hidden from the Lord, and they will not go unpunished. Paul quoted verse 11 in 1 Corinthians 3:20 to warn church leaders in Corinth not to try to guide the church using the world's wisdom, but rather to rely on the wisdom of God found in the scriptures and in his Spirit. And we'll continue in verse 12. Joyful are those you discipline, Lord, those you teach with your instructions. You give them relief from troubled times until a pit is dug to capture the wicked. The Lord will not reject his people. He will not abandon his special possession. Judgment will again be founded on justice, and those with virtuous hearts will pursue it. God teaches, instructs, and disciplines his children in love. So the psalmist realized that the difficulties that we face in life can help mature our faith. If God immediately rescued his people from personal difficulties, we'd become spoiled, unbearable brats. We would never grow in faith or in character. God uses personal difficulties to teach us new truths from his word. There is a coming time of judgment, but the Lord will spare his children from that judgment if we are truly abiding in him in full surrender. The longer the wicked persist in their sins, the stronger the net that will trap them becomes. God cannot reject his people who are bound to him by his eternal covenants. The writer believed in the justice of God, the future judgment of the wicked, and the promise of a righteous kingdom for the surrendered and upright heart. And we'll continue in verse 16. Who will protect me from the wicked? Who will stand up for me against evildoers? Unless the Lord had helped me, I would soon have settled in the silence of the grave. I cried out, I am slipping, but your unfailing love, O Lord, supported me. When doubts filled my mind, your comfort gave me renewed hope and cheer. Can unjust leaders claim that God is on their side? Leaders whose decrees permit injustice? They gang up against the righteous and condemn the innocent to death. But the Lord is my fortress. My God is the mighty rock where I hide. God will turn the sins of evil people back on them. He will destroy them for their sins. The Lord our God will destroy them. The question in verse 16 is rhetorical. The writer answered the question himself in the very next verse. The psalmist was experiencing the devious plots of evil leaders, and he cried out to God for help. He knew that the judges were twisting the law to exploit the poor. The author was slipping into a deep and dangerous situation. His heart was growing anxious within him, but the Lord helped him. He pulled him out, he helped him up, and he gave him peace within. He trusted the Lord to bring about the judgment that the evil leaders did deserve. The author had been slipping in his faith and in his walk with the Lord, but God showed him that the wicked were in slippery places and heaving rapidly towards judgment. In evil days, we give thanks that we have the Lord as our refuge and fortress. We abide in him, not to escape responsibility, but to be equipped to go forth and fight the enemy. As the salt of the earth and the light of the world, God's people need to do all they can to encourage justice in the world. In the end, it is the Lord who knows the hearts of the people, and he will judge justly. Jesus is returning sooner today than yesterday, and evil will meet its end. We can trust in the Lord in the wait. We can trust him for every outcome, abide in him, hide in his refuge, and trust his power, his might, and his judgment which is to come. Thanks, y'all. I hope you're having a glorious day in the Lord.